Hey there YouTube, how's it going? Cinderace is making its way into 7-star Tera raids this week, so let's take a quick look at what you need to take it down. Before we take a look at the counters, let's take a quick look at the event. We have a Fighting Tera-type Cinderace coming to 7 stars raids with the mightiest mark. Starting Friday, December 30th at midnight UTC, that's going to be Thursday, December 29th, 4 p.m. PST, or 7 p.m. EST. Cinderace is an offensive powerhouse with a high attack and high speed stat that packs a wide variety of moves we'll take a look at here in a few minutes. As you can see, Cinderace is a pure fire-type Pokemon, but thanks to the terrestrialization phenomenon, it'll be pure fighting-type during the Tera Raid battle. That doesn't mean the fire-type attacks won't hurt, though, as it keeps its stab bonus from the original type, even while terrestrialized. This means that Cinderace is going to hurt a lot with both fighting and fire-type moves. It's likely Cinderace is going to be carrying its signature move Pyro Ball, a base 120 fire-type attack. It's also likely that Cinderace is going to have access to High Jump Kick, one of the most powerful fighting-type attacks, with a base 130 power. Both of these moves are going to have Stab, so you'll want to find something that has resistance or immunity to either or both of these types. But that's not all. Cinderace has a wide and varied move pool that allows it to handle a lot of the counters that you might try to bring to this raid. Fairy types, which usually counter fighting types to a T, will struggle if Cinderace is carrying Gunk Shot or Iron Head. Psychic type Pokemons, another common counter to the fighting type, may also struggle if depending on whether or not Cinderace has access to Sucker Punch. With all of this type coverage, it's going to be difficult, to say the least, to find a good counter to the Cinderace raid, but let's take a look at what some of our options are. Slowbro is a water psychic type Pokemon with great physical bulk and a solid special attack. Used either offensively or defensively, Slowbro will be a solid choice for this Tera raid. Its typing gives it resistance to both of Cinderace's stabs, and its high defense stat means that it'll be able to take hit after hit with little difficulty. Slowbro will really shine though, as it gets the opportunity to use a handful of its support moves. Psychic Terrain is going to be super useful in this fight, as it not only boosts the power of Psychic-type moves, but it also stops priority moves, like the potential Sucker Punch, from working at all. Slowbro also has access to Rain Dance, which will make the damage of Cinderace's Fire-types move even lower, as well as set up for a move that we'll talk about later. You can also go with a move like Chilling Water, which, while it won't hit super effectively, will lower Cinderace's attack by 1 stage each time it connects, and that works even through the Tera Shield. A couple other moves to mention as well: Psychic for super effective stab damage, Slack Off to maintain your HP without needing to use a heal share, or Nasty Plot. As it raises your special attack 2 stages with each use, this can be used for an offensive powerhouse in combination with Psychic. Give it EVs in defense, HP, and special attack depending on if you want it to be offensive or defensive, for maximum efficiency. Armarouge, similar to Slowbro, comes with a lot of versatile moves for offensive and defensive use. Being a fire psychic type, it offers quite a few of the same benefits of Slowbro in the way of resistances and stab. However, with Flash Fire as its primary ability, it makes it 100% immune to Cinderace's Pyro Ball or any other fire type moves it might be packing. Armarouge also gets access to the Psychic Terrain, same as Slowbro. On top of that, it gains access to Acid Spray, which lowers the enemy's special defense by 2 stages each time that it gets hit. 3 of those puts Cinderace to -6, which is nothing but good news for your squad. And also, there is a chance that Cinderace is going to have access to Swords Dance or Bulk Up, and Clear Smog on Armarouge is the ability to nullify those boosts, even through a Tera Shield. Plus, it'll keep getting better, as Armarouge gets access to Expanding Force, which does monumental damage while Psychic Terrain is up. Combine this with a few Calm Minds, and this option will be devastating to Cinderace. And you can even slap a Shell Bell on there to keep your HP topped up with each massive hit. Spec into Special Attack, Defense, and HP for best results. Ceruledge, the Violet counterpart to Armarouge, is also a solid offensive option to counter Cinderace. In terms of typing, being a Fire Ghost with Flash Fire, Ceruledge is immune to 2 of Cinderace's most powerful weapons in Pyro Ball and High Jump Kick. While lacking in the stab super effective damage that Armarouge gets, it does have access to more setup options in Swords Dance and Bulk Up. These buffs will make moves like Bitter Blade and Psycho Cut hit for plenty as you carve your way through the raid. Back into attack, HP, and defense for best results. While those three will be the most common counters to this raid, we can continue to look at some of the options that will take advantage of fighting's third weakness, flying. The first option to recommend is Pelipper. It gets access to one of the best combos to target this flying weakness, Drizzle and Hurricane. We mentioned we talk about another move in coordination with Rain Dance earlier. It's Hurricane, a 110 base power flying type move that becomes 100% accurate in the rain. Combined with either Rain Dance or the ability Drizzle, it's going to hit so hard. Pelipper also offers access to a handful of other support moves like Tailwind to help speed up your team, Aqua Ring to help keep yourself alive, Helping Hand, and Chilling Water, which we talked about earlier to lower that attack through the Tera shield. Secondly would be Staraptor. While usually an offensive powerhouse of a flying type, Staraptor has a few tools on the support side that could really make an impact on this fight. First of all is Intimidate. Its primary ability, Staraptor will start the fight by lowering Cinderace's attack by 1 stage. Nothing better than starting out with lower damage from your opponent, right? Feather Dance, an egg move available to Staraptor, is also capable of lowering the opponent's attack by 2 stages each time it connects. 1 turn in, it's already at -3. Easy. This does not work through Tera Shield later in the fight, though. Does also gain access to Rain Dance, Helping Hand, and Tailwind, which we've already talked about in depth, but it's always helpful nevertheless. And finally, to make sure you have some damage output, you have access to Brave Bird, which will damage yourself, or Acrobatics. So giving it a Psychic Seed to pair with that Psychic Terrain, or some other regularly consumable item, will allow you to strike super hard into Cinderace on the physical side. Now you might be asking, what about all the Fairy type counters that we've been looking at? Since it's similar to the Charizard raid, where it's a Fire type with a Tera type that's weak to Fairies. The problem with them is going to be Gunk Shot and Iron Head, which Cinderace is very likely to carry. However, if you're adamant about using them, there are a couple of solid options with which you could follow through with. First of all, Azumarill, who is going to resist the Fire type damage and the Steel type damage as well, being part Water type, at least making it neutral. You're still going to have a hard time getting Belly Drum, Huge Power, Play Roughs off. You're going to need a lot of setup and support to make sure that that happens correctly. Fluttermane is fairly fragile. If you can avoid the Gunk Shots and the Iron Heads, it's always, always, always a massive special powerhouse. But Dachsbun can actually be used in a defensive set, speccing into physical defense, allowing you to take those hits, and Well-Baked Body nullifies the fire damage that you can put in. If you're going to use a Fairy type, a defensive Dachsbun with attacks like Charm and Play Rough, or Azumarill with Belly Drum and Play Rough are going to be your best options on the Fairy side. Hopefully this helps you get an idea of what to prepare for the upcoming raid event. I know I still have a lot to prepare for, and I'm looking forward to taking on this challenge. If there are any other Pokemon or builds that you're preparing for the event, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. These are just a few ideas that I've had. They're not the only options. They're not necessarily the best options. If you see a recommendation down in the comments that you like, make sure to give it an upvote. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next video.